I noticed that so many people usually receive or give out fairly used computing devices like smartphones, personal computers, and so on. But there are certain cyber safety tips or cyber safety precautions you should take note of while doing this. So I'll be discussing that in this video. Do not go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome to SC Cyber Safe, where we teach you cyber safety tips and also expose all the latest scams and tricks used by scammers in Nigeria and all around the world. So if you know it is something you're interested in, consider clicking the subscribe button and also the notification bell icon just beside it, so that whenever we upload new content, you get notified immediately. So without further ado, let me go straight to explaining the dangers associated with giving out fairly used devices without implementing what I'll be teaching you in this video. The first one is that you might have some of your accounts enabled in that device. You might have your Google account stored in that device. You might have your Yahoo account stored in that device. You might even have some credit card details stored on that device. Some people might even have some passwords stored on that device also. So there are lots of information that could be stored on that device that you wouldn't want it to get to the wrong hands, or even if the person you are giving it to is a familiar person, it might still one way or the other be in turn used for a malicious purpose when it gets to the wrong hands. Another one is that you might have remnants of important data stored on that particular computer or that particular device. You might have deleted those files and you might have thought that those files are deleted permanently, but there is a way to restore some of those files using some softwares. Those files could be restored from your hard drive. So the dangers of someone who is planning on using a fairly used device or fairly used computing device could be that it could have some keyloggers or monitoring softwares or even applications that could monitor everything you are doing on that particular device. It might not have been installed by that person because the person might be your father, your mother, or someone close to you that gave you that device. But the person might not have been online safe in the first place and might have one way or the other gotten those keyloggers or those monitoring softwares installed on that computer without their notice. And if that device is passed on to you, you might then in turn face the dangers associated with all those keyloggers and those monitoring softwares saved on that device. Another thing you should take note of is that those devices might have viruses or what they call malware installed on those devices. It could also have implicating files or documents that could be traced to you. So you should make sure you get rid of all these things before you receive a fairly used device or a fairly used computing device. So I'm going to list 3 things to do when you are either receiving or giving out a fairly used computing device. The first one is for those that are either receiving or giving out a computing device, while the remaining 2 are for those that are receiving a fairly used computing device. You can factory reset the computing device to the default state like as if it was a new device. So how do you do this? You can go ahead and watch YouTube videos teaching you how to restore devices to the factory default. This second one is for those that are receiving a fairly used device. You should make sure that all the applications and software on that particular device are updated to the latest versions. The main reason is because it changes all the applications and softwares to the old versions when they first came installed on the device. So you need to make sure they are updated to the latest versions to prevent any dangers or to prevent any vulnerabilities. The final step you should take is make sure you install a working antivirus. There are lots of paid antivirus options that you can use that are quite affordable,